Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader.
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to Just One More Page,
where it's never just one more page.
Okay, Sam, now it's my turn. I bought a bunch of books.
Oh my god. I was good. I haven't bought anything this week.
I think I bought 4 books, and then I was on Amazon last night, and I was like, treat yourself. So I bought 2 more. So I bought 6 books, but treat myself.
Right?
I deserve it, even though I probably don't deserve it. But I did buy myself some Christmas books.
Well, that's good. Are you going to reattempt the 25 book Christmas?
You know what? I'm thinking about it. Okay, last year I did pretty good, and then I just failed because I was an idiot, and instead of like pre-recording videos, I was like, I'm just gonna record a video every day. Don't do that. That's stupid. I think that since it's like September, I'm gonna like make a list of all the books that are coming out that are Christmas themed and what books I want to read, and write a list and kind of start planning it out because I think it was such
check it twice.
Listen,
figure out which one's naughty or nice.
I love Christmas books. I love Christmas. I have to do it again. It was such a fun time, and everyone loved it, except I didn't love it. So hopefully, and also I got called out quite a bit because when I did not post like the last 3, I think I missed 3 books at the end. There was 3 books that I just did not get to, and people were like, where are the last 3 books? Where's the last 3 books? I'm like, God.
Well, you can't promise. Like, it's the internet. You can't make a promise and then like not finish it. They're just gonna riot in the streets.
And that's why I was like, oh yeah, I just did not read these books.
Did you see the TikTok I posted?
I have not been on TikTok in a while, I'll be honest with you. I took a little bit of a social media break for a little bit.
I saw that. So I posted a TikTok letting everybody know about the book we had just read. Granted, it was like super duper late. If anybody's wondering what the heck is going on with my eye, it's called sleep deprivation and a sty. So don't worry, nothing wrong has happened with me, but it looks pretty bad. So I just didn't want anyone to like freak out if they saw the TikTok and then was like, what happened to her eye? It looks like she got punched. I didn't get punched. I'm just sleep deprived and had a sty. It's fun.
That sounds like a fun time,
So if you go see that video, I'm okay. I promise. Nothing bad happened. I just look like I got beat up.
Blink twice if you're not okay, even though we can't see it, Sam.
Oh my gosh. But it was nasty looking.
Should we talk about the book we're going to be talking about today, Sam?
We can. I think that's the point of doing this. Let's talk about the book.
I think the point of the podcast is just for me to ramble and talk, and talk about my bad decisions of buying books because, why not?
Our bad life choices.
Of buying so many books, which, by the way, can I just tell you right now, I finished a book a couple days ago. Okay, Sam, I feel like an idiot. So I read the book, right? And the whole time I was telling people, oh yeah, this book is called Infected. I looked at the title again. It's not called Infected. It's called Infested. Like you're infested with bugs. And I made a TikTok that I'm going to post soon because I've been pre-recording TikTok videos this week. I made a whole TikTok talking about this book, being like, this book Infected. And then I looked at the title. I was like, Morgan, that's infested.
I mean, is the font kind of funky? Like, can we give you a little bit of like leeway?
No, absolutely not. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And the book, it makes more sense that it's called Infested because it has to do with bugs and stuff like that and whatever. But I made a TikTok talking about it and I was like, wow. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Oh my goodness. But hopefully, I think I read everything in this book correctly. I think I know how to say the title of the book we're going to be talking about.
I hope so.
So today we're going to be reading a young adult novel called The Name Drop by Susan Lee. And this is actually the second book that we are going to be reading from this writer, as the first book that we read from this writer was called Seoulmate. And you can find us talking about this book on episode 38. And we call the episode Defending Lee Minho's Honor, which I don't remember what the book's about. And I don't remember why we're defending Lee Minho's honor, but we are. And I saw the title of the episode. I was like, why did we name it that?
I think they talked about K-dramas and then they were like bashing on Lee Min-ho, and so we had to like defend his honor.
How dare they?
I know. I know.
But anyways, this book, which is called The Name Drop, follows Jessica, who is excited to make a name for herself, but she's not really expecting too many opportunities because she is being a low intern. But when she arrives in New York City, she is given a driver, a large brownstone apartment, and a higher up a position. And also she has someone working for her, only to realize that they made a mistake and they picked up the wrong person. Now, Elijah, who is the son of the CEO, is forced to go to work at his father's company, and instead of being picked up by his driver, he is shoved in a van with a bunch of other interns, moved into a cramped apartment, and forced to work in the basement of the company. But when Jessica and Elijah cross his paths, it doesn't take them long to realize what happened. Instead of correcting the mistake, they decide to pretend to be each other for just a little bit longer. After all, what could go wrong? Which, to be honest with you, not really a lot. Not really a lot. So, Sam, what do you think? Did you like it? Was it better than Soulmates? Was it?
I don't really remember Soulmates too much. I'd have to go back and look back at my review of it. I don't know. It was cute. Like, it was cute. Well, that's all I can say about it. It was cute. I enjoyed listening to it. It was a fun book.
What did you rate it?
Like 3.5.
I think I rated it 3 stars. For me personally, I know that it was a young adult romance novel, so it's not something so complex and is not supposed to be like super intense, but I felt like the story fell flat where it's supposed to be. I felt like there was tons of plot holes. The main character was just like, I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of her. I felt like, if anything, it was really annoying how she was expecting Elijah to kind of change his ways of looking at things in her point of view, of not being wealthy, of looking at it in a way of like, oh, you're throwing money there, but you shouldn't be doing that. And it's like, no, that's the way he was raised. On top of that, I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, which is something I'll talk about in the spoiler section. But I think for this book, I was just kind of quite upset that it wasn't what I expected at all. And I don't know, I felt like the romance too kind of came out of nowheres for me, and I felt like it would have been better if there was more talking about sexism in the workplace and her overcoming that, instead of like them kind of falling in love. And I don't know, but I know it's a romance novel. I'm being cynical right now, I'm sorry, but I wasn't a huge fan of it, Sam. I didn't like it, and I guess that's okay.
I mean, not every book's made for everybody. So here's my thing about your comment about like more about the sexism and everything, is that the last time we read a book where it was all about the sexism in the workplace, we critiqued it. So it's kind of ironic that you are like, well, I wanted more of that. I guess there's a fine line between like too much and not enough.
Well, I guess maybe I wanted something to come from it. I wanted, like, yes, you're having the conversation about it. I want some sort of something to come out of it, not just you talking about it.
Right. And I get that, because even like, well, I won't talk about it because then it would be a spoiler. I get what you're saying with it. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I like that it was a dual point of view. So you kind of like saw Elijah being a little bit of a fish out of water, but I kind of wanted him to be more of a fish out of water. Like, he seemed to assimilate really quickly.
I was also expecting, do you remember that K-drama you watched and I watched, that was Prince Louis?
Oh, yeah.
I expected something like that, where it's like this rich guy who gets into a coma. He doesn't remember that he's wealthy, and he's like a hot mess. Like, I can't remember everything that he does, but he's just like a complete hot mess. Like, he doesn't know how to do anything by himself. And so that's what I expected, and we didn't get that, unfortunately.
I don't know. The whole amnesia thing would have been fun if he like fallen and was like, I'm this person. My name isn't Jessica. What are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. No, I wanted to be more of like, because it felt like he was a rich kid playing poor, but then like assimilated like way too fast. And then I kind of wanted Jessica to be a little more out of her element, but she kind of like assimilated really, really quickly too. She was just like, I don't know what to do with this personal servant. I'm going to take my food in the breakfast room. Like, I don't know. And then I kind of wanted her to get more lost in the richness.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
It also bothered me a ton about Jessica's expectations of her having high expectations for him. Like, she's like, you're being lazy. You don't know what you want to do for your life. Like, dude, leave him alone. Like let him do whatever he wants to do. He has probably grown up with so much pressure on his shoulders. And if he wants to relax and hang out with a bunch of like interns in the basement, let him do that, okay? Like, let him live his life. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk about the spoilers, because there's so many things I do want to talk about. But if you guys want to read the book, then please go do so. Come back talk about this. If you like to check out our other episodes, last week we did do an episode talking about the last book in Ashley and Ross Tech's book series, Witness Protective Series, and that book was called Free Me, so definitely go check that one out. But let's spoil this book, Sam. So let's talk about it.
What do you want to talk about first?
Okay, first off, let me talk about the thing that bothered me the most. Listen, I'm here for the angst. I'm here for the drama, okay? I love the drama in books. But the fact that I'm waiting for this lead up of it being revealed that he is the CEO's son, I'm like, okay, they're going to have this grand party. The CEO is going to come out and be like, that's my son. And everyone's going to be like, oh, that's your son? Oh my God, you're actually rich? Oh my God. Like, I'm expecting something like that. Instead, that didn't happen. The CEO came over and was like, oh, Jessica, let's go for a walk. Let me take you out to dinner. Let me do that. And then Jessica is being, I'm going to swear real quick. Close your ears. If you have kids nearby, close your ears. But Jessica was being such a bitch because she's like, I'm going out to eat with your father after he literally just told her all the shit that his father has done to him and how his father's super controlling. And she's like, well, you don't understand. I think he was right to tell her that I think you're enjoying the wealth a little bit too much? No, because it was true, because she was enjoying the wealth a little bit too much. And I'm sorry, that's my rant. That's my TED Talk of the day.
Thank you for coming to Morgan's TED Talk. No, like, I was hoping for a bigger reveal too, because the sister was kind of like very chill about it when she found out about it, and then she was like, "Let's have a girls' night," and then I was kind of hoping that Jordan kid was gonna like want to get with Jessica, and then finds out she's not rich, like be less into her because of like she doesn't have the money and stuff. But then he's like, "I want to get with her friend," and I was like, "Well, that's no fun." Like I appreciate it, but then it wasn't any fun either.
Well, I felt like it was going to happen, like when she was talking to her friend, and she was like, "Oh, you and Jordan," and her friend's like, "Oh, don't change the subject." I'm like, "Ooh, they're gonna push them together." I have a feeling. Did you feel like the book was kind of slow? Like there was like nothing happening. Like nothing happened.
I kind of wanted more out of the hackathon that they were putting together, because that sounded like super interesting, but it was just like, it's the day of the hackathon, here are the winners, and like nothing in between, like maybe chaos, or like in the middle of it they find out that Jessica's not the Chable, it's Elijah who's the Chable, but like they still come together as a group because they're the interns. Like, it could have been, there could have been more fun moments with the interns, and there really wasn't that much, minus like Jordan and Elijah having a friendship.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that friendship wasn't played at all. Like we knew they were friends, but we didn't really get to see them interact with each other a ton, which was really disappointing. Oh, also, maybe because I listened to this book at 2.5 speed. Yes, I tried finishing this book really fast. Don't judge me. But I assume that Jessica and also Elijah were both coming from South Korea, but Jessica seems more American. So and then like, okay,
Jessica's from California.
So how did they get their passport? I don't understand how they
because she has a Korean name, like legally.
But so why is he flying from California?
She got an internship with the Honol Group, the New York office.
Yeah, but why are they both flying from okay, so they both got their passports checked, and they got like on the plane.
I think they connected at the same spot.
But for me, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if his father's very rich, why would not he have a direct flight?
I mean, that's true. Or even then, like, when you get your plane tickets, you get all the plane tickets for every single, like, stopover you have. So, like, whatever he got in, like, Seoul or wherever he was flying from, Busan, who cares? He should have had all of his tickets. But, I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's just a plot hole.
Well, it would have made more sense to me if maybe they actually bumped into each other. Like, he was originally, like, spending time in California, whatever, and they bumped into each other, and their whatever, plane tickets got mixed up, and she grabbed his and, he grabbed hers. That would have made more sense to why they switched up.
And the real irony in all of this is we're in the world of digital plane tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Where very rarely do you have a printed boarding pass unless, like, your plane, like, got swapped out, which has happened to me a couple times. Don't go traveling with me. Your flight will get missed, and it won't be your fault, but you'll still miss your flight. Either way. But you pull your boarding pass up with a QR code on your phone now, so, like, I don't know. And then everything gets sent to your email, so I think that was just for the sake of plot, because nobody gets boarding passes anymore.
Yeah, we can look past that, I guess, that plot hole. But what I will not look past is that ending of not getting that angst of everyone realizing that he is the CEO's son. Because I would have loved it if like the person that's in charge of them were like mean to him and was like, "Oh, you're kind of stupid," and then him being like, "Actually, I'm the CEO's son." But instead,
And
it was just like,
they're all like, we were expecting a male, we were expecting a boy, and like nobody questioned when like they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we made an error, and you're female, instead of being like, and it's not like nobody could have gone and Googled this guy.
"Oh yeah," because
Like nobody decided to go look up like the person they were going to be taking care of and seeing a picture. It was just like they just accepted this girl's here with the exact same name, which I mean, whatever, Korean names are, I think a lot of them are very gender neutral. But like nobody bothered, like the security guards, the housekeeper, like nobody wanted to like Google the person they were about to be like taking care of, or didn't get like an itinerary or what is it, a dossier or something, like the information that about the person you're about to be taken care of, so that way they like know his preferences and stuff. And like nobody questioned it all the way through to the end except for like the sister and the father.
yeah, but also on top of that, you would think that everyone, the housekeeper, since the housekeeper is the one who's taking care of him in the brownstone, which is the apartment building that the father owns or has owned for forever. You think that this housekeeper would know what was happening, since I'm assuming the housekeeper works at the house multiple times. There's so many plot holes. Another thing, though, I do want to talk about is the father. Okay, I, for some reason, thought that the father was like someone very low on the scale and was like, "Oh, I hate my job." But the way that the book makes it seem later on is that the father actually had a very important role in which he was actually in charge of the internships, and he got her internship, which is another reason why I'm like, "Oh, I don't like you," because she yells at Elijah a lot for using his wealth to get him his way. But yet she did the same thing for this internship. So it's like, no, kettle meet black. What was it? Kettle meet black or black meat?
The pot calling the kettle black.
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say, okay?
Yeah.
I'm very tired. But yeah, seriously, like I was so annoyed though. And also like the fact that I just didn't understand the father's relationship with her.
I don't know, like, and it made it sound like they were like poor, like poor people, like couldn't, and he was just a frugal penny pitching person. Because I was expecting her to be like from the dregs of the inner city, and it's like now he's like a financial analysis person. I was whatever. And then I wish we had more interaction with her and her father, or her and her mother, to establish a better relationship with them. But it was just like, are you being respectful and bowing to the people and like whatever, just whatever you do to be respectful in their culture. And like there was no back and forth, and then it was like, don't make waves and don't make it so that like, they watch you. But then he was also told multiple times not to do certain things, and he was still doing the certain things, and that brought more attention on him. Like his words didn't match his actions, and that was so frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of
nepotism.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like the book could have been better, if that makes sense. Like I felt like,
yeah, it definitely didn't hit a lot of the notes that I wanted it to hit.
Yeah, I felt like I wanted it to be better. I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of Jessica. I couldn't really root for her. Like you said, in the beginning, it's kind of viewed as she's like kind of poor, but she's not poor. Her dad's just frugal. Her best friend is wealthy enough to come and visit her multiple times. That has to be a very expensive flight. And it just, I don't know. I just couldn't root for her, and I wasn't a huge fan of her, and I don't like how judgmental she was. And I really wish there was a scene Elijah kind of figure out what he wanted to do, because I feel like there was more of a storyline with her than with Elijah. And I wanted a little bit more of a storyline with Elijah. But I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But
yeah, that's why I said it was cute. Like that's kind of where I'm at. It was cute. I enjoyed the story for what it was, and if I don't sit down and analyze it, it's not terrible. But then if you sit there and you just like pull it apart, it's really not like, wasn't very well fleshed out book. There could have been like more. There could have been more, I guess, is the like everything we already talked about. There just could have been more, and there could have been like a bigger reveal scene and a better love story and a more of like kind of like the Prince and the Pauper kind of thing, where it was like you kind of see things from both sides of the world, and even though they're living in each other's worlds, it was like they had to like open their eyes to see like that the rich are just like us. They have problems too. And the poor really do struggle. And it's not all about just working hard because I mean, you and I work our butts off and we're still barely middle class as it is. But it's like there could have been more revelations and more like camaraderie, and there could have just been more. And honestly, it could have been a longer book and I would have enjoyed it if there was just more detail put into it and more character development and more character growth.
Yeah, and I would have liked it if there's more angst, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the drama and the angst, okay?
Here for the drama.
Seriously, I'm here for the drama.
3.5. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I'll accept it for what it is.
Yeah, I rated it 3 stars. But if you guys are curious, next week we are going to be reading a book called A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. And this is a young adult fantasy gothic romance novel. And I don't think we've ever read a gothic novel, or at least I read a gothic novel with Bill Reeds, who was on the podcast when Sam was on maternity leave. We read, what was it called? It was something to do with vampires. But I don't think we've ever, me and you, read a gothic read before, have we?
I don't think we've read gothic yet. We've done medieval, we've done fantastical. I don't think we've done gothic yet.
No, I don't think so either.
And I like gothic, so I'm excited.
I like the last book I read that was gothic, so I'm hoping I will like this one too. But this book follows Effie, who has always believed in fairy tales. She has no choice to believe in them, since she's been haunted by the visions of the fairy king, and the only person she finds like peace in is in the pages of, I'm gonna say this completely wrong, but basically this book called Argenhard, which is a book that is about a girl falling in love with the fairy king and destroying him because, romantic. Anyways, why not? When the writer of the book, Emery Maiden family, announces a contest to design the late writer's house, Effie feels certain that she is destined to do this. But it is an impossible task. A musty, decrepit estate on the brink of crumbling into the sea. On top of that, there is Preston, a young literature scholar who is determined to prove that the writer is a fraud. As the two rival students investigate the recluse writer's legacy, piecing together clues through his letters, books, and diaries, they discover that the house's foundation isn't the only thing that can't be trusted. The dark forces, both mortal and magical, conspire against them. Dun dun dun. I don't know if I'm gonna like this book, Sam. I don't really understand what the book's about, okay? Even though I read you the description of the book, I don't know what the book's about. I'm just here for the ride. We will see.
I'm appreciative because we're reading fantasy this week, and we're reading fantasy this coming week, and then we're reading fantasy again the week after. So I'm in my element these next 2 weeks. So hopefully they're good.
You're in your element, and last week's books were all romance, and those were my elements. But
it's my turn. I'm so excited.
Oh no. Well, if you guys like this episode and would like to support us, please feel free to rate us on Spotify, as it does help push our podcast out there. Also, feel free to follow us on Spotify and on Apple and on Audible, and basically anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find our podcast on. And also feel free to check out our YouTube channel. Now, Sam will tell you about the rest of our socials.
So if you think we are hilarious, which in fact, my friends, we absolutely are. We do have a TikTok. It is a Just One More Page podcast. And for all the pictures and whatever else I decide to post as stories, we do have an Instagram. It is Just One More Page Official. And we also have a Threads, which is also Just One More Page Official. Also, we forgot to add at the beginning, but thank you, NetGalley, for giving us this arc in return for our honest review. We really appreciate it. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you had a fabulous Sunday, and we will talk to you all next week. Okay.
Bye.